So with this, we'll do some photo op, a little cheesy. So can you please hold?
In the back, you come here.
I'll go next to Luke.
Do you have an extra person?
I'll go to this side.
Squatting up. We're squatting up.
Yeah, with 8 meetings in States here. Oh my god, there's a lot.
Okay, everybody, let's do it.
Okay. All right, everyone. Hold it right here. Look at the lens, please. I'm going to take a lot, and I'm going to pan around, so don't worry. Here we go. Keep holding it. Doing great.
Sounds like a doctor's chamber.
Okay, I'm going to go up here. Do you want to do the other version?
Yeah, the leaps.
Stay where you are.
One here. Guys, can you share?
We're sharing,
You
yeah.
both of you can share that.
Okay.
Lope and I can share this.
Okie dokie, here we go. Everyone right here and hold it, looking at the camera for a few seconds while I pan around again. Almost everyone signs up. Okay, here we go.
And we'll do a big group picture because Ryan's here. So I don't know, Ryan's going to direct us. Maybe you have the youth-friendly CEDAW, everybody. We'll do two pictures. One we'll do with the leaps, which is our ritual. And the second one we'll introduce a new ritual, which is #youth for CEDAW. So we'll take, if you're sitting, you're standing, you can do it here. And ask the writers here in the middle. And everybody just to do that. But before we do that, just to say a few thanks. I would like the members of the working group on youth and gender equality to please stand up or raise your hand if you're standing. So let's give them a very big round of applause. And I know that many folks have joined online from different parts of the world, all the way from Australia at this time. So everybody who's online, thank you very much for your support and for taking on this to the next stage. I think for us, guys, so for us in UN Women, what is critical is to make sure these are available in different languages, but we also want to make sure that you're able to help us disseminate this. So please use all social media channels using #youth for gender equality and hashtag, something we created today is #youth for CEDAW. As Lopa said, this has to be done with young people. I think every young person needs to internalize what human rights means to every single young woman and to young men. So I think we really ask you for your partnership and support in disseminating. If you want to do a seminar with young people on creating awareness on CEDAW, let us know. We have all our working group members who will be able to provide support. You want to run an online campaign, we'll be with you. And also make a call for joining the working group on youth and gender equality that started exactly a year ago, which expanded to about 800 people in over 140 countries worldwide. Also want to flag important date for everybody here, that on March 11th and 12th, UN Women with all our partners will be bringing together about 300 to 400 young people for the second Youth CEDAW. Youth CSW, Youth CEDAW. So second Youth CSW, which is a good thing, Youth CEDAW. I'll be dreaming about Youth CEDAW tonight. So it's on Saturday and Sunday. It's being done by the Interagency Working Group with three important themes, which is to really strengthen on young women's leadership, intergenerational partnership and movement and momentum building, but also working with young men and gender equality. You know the theme of CSW is women's economic empowerment. Those of you who are into entrepreneurship initiative, we are bringing about 100 young women entrepreneurs on March 10th, one day before the Youth CSW, to really look at innovation, creativity and skill building with young people. And of course, want to thank two amazing people standing right behind who've been working day and night, Alison and Jason. And also Christian sitting here, who's been one of the key people to review this, Riha and others who will be part of Molly to review this document. So if anybody has any ideas, there's an idea of a youth video, to produce a youth video on CEDAW. Anybody wants to volunteer on that video, please let Alison know. So we will produce this in different formats. We'll do a podcast, so we can really take this in different formats, do a street theater. I don't know if Trevor and others want to come to it. We'd love to have you do a record so that we can also put this on UN Women's YouTube channel, so we can have this brilliant and promote it.
I want to keep stressing this idea of something that is legislatively enforceable, because that is really powerful in terms of many others which are powerful normative frameworks but not necessarily legislatively enforceable. Is the whole notion that Lakshmi referred to earlier, and that you will hear over and over again in the next months and years as UN Women, from UN Women but also more broadly within the UN system, is the whole notion of movement building. Movements are movement building is happening. It's happening out there by all of you and by various civic actors. But the role of the United Nations system, and in particular UN Women, to participate in a very strategic way in supporting movement building, this is a new focus for UN Women. And the reason is because of the extremely challenged situation that we see in the world today in terms of the legitimacy of democratic voice and action. A framework like this, in particular the Youth CEDAW, and what it does in terms of making the ability, the specific mechanisms across a host of areas which govern human life and the lives of women and girls, to give the mechanism, the tools in your hands to enable solidarity building in a political way, so that it is politically accountable. That idea, to use the Youth CEDAW as a tool for global solidarity building that places solidarity at the heart of political action, that is going to be a big contribution of this Youth CEDAW. So with that, once again, congratulations, and we really look forward to working with you, and we hope to see some really major activity around this in the very near future at the Commission on the Status of Women in March and going forward thereafter. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to ask Prashanti, who just made it, fighting many delays, but Prashanti, thank you so much for coming. So we warmly welcome you, so please everybody.
My sincere apologies for being late, and thank you for having me. There's a lot of conversation about empowerment, right? We have heard it so much that it's kind of sickening us to a point, right? But to achieve empowerment, rights must be realized, right? Without rights, we really can't have empowerment. And otherwise, it's going to be empty. And I think what UN Women have done around providing access to rights through a document that is relevant is precisely what we need right now, right? And thinking about rights allows you to really figure out how do we actually not only understand it, but access it. So this particular document gives us three things, right? First, it allows us to really recognize the rights as it's relevant to our lives, right? Because you can read a document and it will have no impact on you unless you understand it, right? So it allows us to really access that relevance. Second, it allows us to affirm our rights and therefore advocate for them, right? And most importantly, it moves us from exclusion to inclusion. And I think this particular document allows us to get there. So thank you for having me, and this is extraordinary, and congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. We'll actually, I'm going to ask, I don't know whether it'll be too much, can I ask you again to perform this most amazing song? Can you please, Tess, please, let's welcome Tess one more time. So those of you who didn't hear, you heard it for the first time. But I think for us, we have to keep hearing it and make it a mantra on consent. So let's.
Alright. So for, oh, the room got a lot bigger since last time I turned around, but I'll sit down. Hi, for anyone that didn't see me before, my name is Tess Waldemuth, and this song is about consent. It's called Consent is Sexy. I hope you enjoy. Every voice has power. Everybody has autonomy. Doesn't matter if you're old or young, or location or geography. Your roots are firm and strong. Your choices are your own. Consent is sexy. Don't you agree? Consent is sexy, baby, for you and me. Should be clear as a cloudless sky. Doesn't matter if it's day or night. Read the signs that you're feeding off. Check in to make sure you're comfortable. Go at the pace that is right for you. Don't forget to lose your breath or two, 'cause consent is sexy. Don't you agree? Consent is sexy, baby, for you and me. No means no. No means no. No means no. Say it loud and say it proud. No means no. Oh, no means no. No means no. Consent is sexy for you and me. Consent is sexy, baby. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Thank you.
Thank you very much.